everyone. Welcome back to another digital moment with Tarina. And for today's live stream, I will be talking about moving to the UAE with my family, with your family, and the things that you need to know, okay? So thank you so much for joining. And as you enter the live, please click the thumbs up. And if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, go ahead and subscribe. Thank you so much. Okay, there's our topic going across the screen. So I've created these little pointers to guide me and to provide you with some more information on the things you need to know when you are ready or thinking about taking your family with you to the UAE. So go ahead and share this live with your friends, share it with a teacher, with anyone. This is not only for teachers planning on moving to the UAE, but for any expat, anyone who wants to be an expat here in the UAE as well. Okay, so the first thing that I'll discuss, and while you're joining me, if there's anything that you need to know, feel free to drop a comment, feel free to ask your questions, okay? So the first thing that I'm going to talk about is applying for jobs here in the UAE and looking for family-friendly packages. So what do I mean about family-friendly packages? It simply means that when you are applying for jobs, you want to keep your family's best interest in hand at the forefront of your mind from the get-go, okay? So once you start applying for jobs, look for the jobs that are family-friendly. Okay, and these are the jobs that will have listed in their vacancies, in their job descriptions, that they provide family accommodations, that they will provide school, tuition. Some of the schools will even provide you with books and admission costs. But guess what? Not all schools provide family-friendly packages, so you need to keep this one in mind as well. But what happens if you don't see this in the description? Does it mean that you're not going to apply for this job? No, because my first job here in the UAE, it wasn't a family-friendly package. It was more suitable for a single teacher, okay? But I went ahead and I took that job because it was my first offer here. And apart from that, it was a great opportunity. It was a great package. Nonetheless, a part of the interview, during the interview rather, I was told that I could, arrive in the country first and then get settled, and then I would, take my family here. But when I arrived here, I realized that the accommodation was a shared accommodation, okay? And then the allowance that the school was going to give me to get an apartment for myself, it wasn't enough, okay? If I was going to take my family here, that allowance would not cover an apartment suitable for a family. So I had to make the decision to say, okay, I will continue working here, living here by myself, while I prepare for my family. So keep that in mind. Even if the school does not offer family-friendly packages in the get-go, they will give you an alternative such as allowance, or even, let me check this. Hey Kerry, welcome. I got distracted. Thank you, Kerry, for joining. And if there's any question you have, Kerry, feel free to ask. And also feel free to share this live with your friends or anyone you think will benefit from it. So I have some bulletins here. Hey Sabrina, thank you for joining. I have some bulletins here and I'm talking about family friendly packages right from the get-go when you start applying for jobs in the UAE. I was saying that when I started, I did not start with a family friendly package, okay? But I worked for the school for 1 year and then I applied, resigned from that job and got another job that provided a complete family package. Okay, so some of the time, guys, we have to make that sacrifice because I did it for my family. I don't know if that would be the best thing for you, but we as a family, we decided that we wanted to take this opportunity, so we made the sacrifice. I stayed in the UAE for 1 year by myself while my husband and my two daughters were back home in Jamaica, and I put things in place and brought them here. So let me look at my next. Okay, job offer letters confirming the benefits. Okay, so you will see the benefits in the job description when the jobs are being advertised. You will also hear about it during the interviews. Okay, you know, teachers, that during the interview, they always have that section where they ask you questions. Is there anything that you would like to ask, would like to know about? I use the opportunity to ask about my family. I use the opportunity to ask about personal development. So you can ask them more about the benefits that they provide for families. Okay, if you're not sure based on the job description before that. So you ask them, okay? And what I did also was to mention straight out that I'm married and I have two children, and it is my desire to relocate with my children. I didn't want them to have any other misunderstanding that I didn't want to take my family with me. So when you get the job offer letter, make sure you confirm all the benefits that were listed or that were mentioned in the, let me do this, in the interview, okay? Give me a minute, guys. Do this. In the, give me 1 minute. Okay, I just want to make sure that I'm keeping up with the comments, okay? So feel free to drop your questions, any comments that you might have, drop them right here and I'll check them as we go along, okay? So we're talking about the job offer letter. So in the job offer letter, you will see a full detail or, you know, explain about your salary, the benefits that you will get, such as flights, accommodations. They will tell you if they're going to give you the accommodation or they're going to give you the allowance. You will also know about if the tuition or this, you know, if they will provide free tuition, because I get free tuition percent fully covered by the school, and they also provide books, they provide admission as well. Please let me know if you're seeing me, if there was a little glitch. So let me know if you're seeing me, you're hearing me carefully or clearly rather. What my school also pointed out is the number of children that they would pay for. So that is very important as well to look for in your offer letter. Some schools will cover 2 children and other schools will cover up to 4 children. And that's great, right? Because I have friends here that benefited from that part of the job offer letter, that to make sure that all my children will be taken care of in terms of tuition and in terms of books and all of that, okay? You will also see that the schools will not cover traveling for your children or your spouse. They will not provide visas for your family. So all of this you will have to do that you're on your own. they will not provide insurance for your family unless you are a male, okay? Unless you are a male teacher. Thank you, Alison. Thank you for joining me. And if I'm missing any point and you guys want to share your experience, go right ahead. I know that my audience, my subscribers, they will benefit from it. So unless you are a male teacher or a male, overall, moving to the UAE, there are certain benefits that you will get that a female will not get. It hurts me because I would love to get traveling for my children. I would love to get visa and insurance for them, but that is just the way things are here in the UAE. So we learn to live with it. Another thing is that if you are divorced, okay, females, if you are divorced and you have your paperwork, all of that, you will get these benefits, okay? God forbid your spouse is deceased, you will get these benefits such as insurance, visa, and traveling for your children, okay? So under those two conditions, based on my knowledge and some teachers that I've spoken to already, that I know that they are divorced, but the school still cover all of those benefits for them. So let's look at types of accommodations. Oh, I'm so happy to hear Alison. Alison is saying that coming to the UAE is one of the best decisions she has ever made. I'm so happy to hear that, Alison. Welcome, Black Girl TT. Thank you for joining us, guys. Please leave a like, click the thumbs up button right there. So let's look at number 3 types of accommodations, okay, or allowances. So as I mentioned earlier, schools will offer you accommodations and they will also offer you allowances to pay for your own allowance, or you can go out and look for the different style of villas or apartments that you will need. So here in the UAE, we have apartment buildings and we have villas, okay? There are also some townhouses, but it's similar to villas rather. So where I live in Ruwais, that's in the western region, and I live in an apartment building. And my apartment has 3 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, 1 kitchen, washroom, storeroom, balcony, and living room, and an extra family room. Also a maid's room as well, because you know that if you have a family, the UAE caters to family, caters to children. So they make sure that the apartments have what we call the nanny's room or the maid's room, okay? The apartment that you will get will depend on your family size. So I have 2 daughters and my husband will visit us during the holidays. So that's a family of 4. So I have 3 bedrooms, okay? And the maid's room, we can turn that into another bedroom if we wish. The second family room, that's where I am right now. And I have an extra bed here, and this is my office is here. So I have enough space. But I also have friends and colleagues here who have 2-bedroom bedroom apartment, whereas they only have 2 bedrooms plus a maid's room and 2 family room, bath. I think it's 2.5 bathrooms. Yes, but my friends, if you're on the live, you can, confirm this for me. But I know that your apartment depends totally on the number of your family members, the size of your family. Okay, guys, for me personally, I went straight ahead for the accommodations. I didn't want any allowance, even though my school, didn't offer me one. But I know families that took allowances from other schools, and it was a challenge in the beginning to get the right apartment, because you have to think about utilities, you have to think about municipality fees, and all of that. And for me personally, I don't pay for utilities. I don't pay rent, I don't pay for light, AC, water, gas, anything like that. Thank God. Okay, my school covers everything with the accommodations. Okay. Okay, Alison is sharing that she came here first, without her family, only to realize that family was the number one, the top priority in the country. Very good. That is so true. Family is number one for this government. They not only take care of Emiratis, their own citizens, they take care of residents as well. They take care of residents. Yes, and it is one of the best place to raise your family. It is very safe, okay? Even if you are not getting all the benefits, including full tuition and all of that, guys, this is one of the safest place on earth. I don't worry about my children when they are here. And I'm not exaggerating, People can tell you it is very safe living in the UAE. Getting settled, it will be a challenge, yes, because you're moving from your home country, from your comfort zone, and taking the children out of school, away from their friends. But when you get here and get settled, trust me, you will not regret it. It is one of the best places to raise your family. Okay, let's move on to documents needed and attestation. Okay, so before you even move to the UAE or go on that flight, whether you're moving with your family or you're coming by yourself first, you need to consider some very, very important documents, and these documents need to be attested. Okay, so let's look at this word attestation for those persons who do not know what it means. It means that you have to go to the ministries in your country, such as Ministry of Education and Ministry of Foreign Affairs, to get some documents attested, meaning that these governing bodies or these personnel, they will check your documents to verify if they're authentic, if they're real, okay? When you are getting your documents attested, think about your birth certificate, everybody's birth certificate. If you're married, you need your marriage certificates as well. If you're divorced, you need that. If your spouse is deceased, God forbid, you will need that document as well as proof to show that, this is it. Okay? So let's look at all these documents. Where do you take these documents? You're going, let me speak from a Jamaican perspective. You will first need to go to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Kingston, and that is to get the birth certificates attested, okay? The marriage certificates, you need to get those attested as well. You will also need, as teachers, we need our personal documents such as our qualifications to be attested as well. So in case you are just joining and you have never watched any of my videos before, to become a teacher here in the UAE, you will need your degree, a first degree in primary education or whatever field you wish to teach in, and that document needs to be attested as well. This document needs to go to the Ministry of Education first. Okay, since we're talking about attestation, that is a gentle reminder that you need to go to the Ministry of Education first to get that attested. You also need your children's immunization cards. You will also need permission letters from the father father if the father is not traveling with you or traveling with the children. This is very important. The UAE, okay? And I believe every country, but it is much stricter here, or it is what's the word I'm looking for? They put that in place here. The father is the head. Whether the father is with the family or not, the father is the head. Okay? Hey, welcome, Georgia. Hey, Sydney. Is this Georgia? Is this our Cindy Powell? Come on, Cindy. Let me know if it's you, girl. All right. Let me get back to it. Let me stay focused. All right. So, if you're traveling with your children without their father, you need a permission letter from the father stating that he gives you permission. Ladies, trust me. Whether you're the man in a relationship or not, please, you're going to need this letter. Okay? Based on my personal experience, you are going to need this letter. Okay? And also, you're going to need a copy of his passport. So in the letter, you are going to include his passport number. You're going to need a copy of his passport, and this letter plus his, hey Sydney, plus his passport should be stamped and signed by a JP or a notary public, whichever term you're used to. So this justice of the peace would have to sign it and stamp it, and then you will take these documents with you to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to get them attested. Okay, guys? So that is very important that you take that into consideration. And if you know you're going to move to the UAE, and as I said before, friend up the little man, so you sign that letter there, okay? Because when it comes to sponsoring the child, they can ask you for this. Where's the father? Did the father give permission to do this? So you need that, all right? So that is documents needed for attestation. All right, so let's move to the next one. After you accept the job, what next? Guys, before I talk about this, even if you do not plan to take your family, because I know there are teachers here that they're mothers, but their children are back home, they choose to do that. You still need to send the schools these documents, okay? Their birth certificates, their passports and stuff like that. You still need to send the school these documents from day one along with your documents, okay? Keep that in mind. So after you've accepted the job, what next? What next? And this in regards to, thank you, Sydney. Okay, Georgia. Thank you, Black Girl TT. Hey guys, check out Black Girl TT. She's here on YouTube as well, and she will provide you with all the information that you need relocating to the UAE, and check out Georgia's lifestyle as well. So we do it, we big up each other, we give shout out, we support each other. So now that you get the job, what are you going to do? You're now going to think about putting things in place to move to the UAE with your family. So in 2017, when I came by myself. So in 2018, I returned home. Then I started planning to take my family with me. So I made sure that their passports were valid. That means it was valid for more than 6 months. I made sure that I get all my documents ready. I made sure that I went up to their schools and I informed their teachers, the school itself, that I am planning to take my children out of the country. We are relocating to the Middle East. Yes, that is proper protocol, you know. Good manners that. Tell the schools that you're going to be moving on. For my daughter, for Benisa, that's my oldest daughter, older daughter that is, she was at third form when we decided to move to the UAE. Okay, so I wrote a letter to the school to inform them about that and to let them hold the space. You me say? Yeah. Even though, even though we know that I got the job, anything can happen, guys. Anything can happen. Here, so I know for it, right? Meaning, I get when I patwa, you know. This is not a permanent place for us. We are residents here. We will, I don't know when they'll do it, but for now, you cannot be a citizen here. Okay? You cannot be a citizen here. That means even coming here, accepting the job, packing your suitcases, going on the flight and everything, it's a chance you're taking. It's a gamble, it's a risk because anything can happen. You can come here and during probation, they say that you can't your service is no longer needed. You know, they can say that. That means you lose a job. You have to go back home. You have to go back home with your children as well. So what I did was that I informed the school about us relocating, but I told them keep the space for her. I don't know if I needed to do it, but I felt, I felt the need to. And, they recognized that anything can happen as well. They encouraged us, they wished us well, and so on. So that was good, right? Let me look at my next. So let's look at applying for the tourist or the visit visa, okay? Very, very important. When it was a challenge, guys. Jaja can tell you this. It was a challenge when I was trying to, get ready, get the girls ready, get the visas ready. It was a challenge. I know it was a challenge for Alison as well. You understand? Sometimes when we applied for the visa, we had to be calling, calling, calling. And if you guys know about the communication, the language barrier here in the UAE, can you imagine calling from Jamaica with the time difference? It was crazy, right? But you need to apply. Let me change it. Well, hold on, guys. Let me change this thing because it keeps jumping off. Thank you so much for joining us, Sydney. And Georgia, did you know that Cindy and I, we were at the same school before I moved to the UAE? We're not only classmates, we are colleagues. Yep, we are colleagues. We worked at the same school for a while. Okay, yeah. Okay, back to this now. So, apply for the tourist visa. The schools will not provide this for you. They will send you a tourist visa or entry visa. No, you need to do this for your family, okay? What you need when you're applying, you will need a copy of their passport, copy of the birth certificate, and a passport photo, okay? Just these three things: birth certificate, copy of the passport, and a photo. That's the only three things you need. Yes, it was, but you were very supportive. You're welcome, Alison, and God bless you too as well. And this is what we do as Black Girl TT mentioned. Support is everything, And the thing about it is that once you know someone who has already gone through the process, it is going to be much easier for you if that person is willing to help. Okay? So having this YouTube channel, I've been doing this, for a long while, even without the channel, because I've been helping persons, to get the process done, to get things in place, to to become a teacher here in the UAE as well. Okay? So how do you apply for this visa? There are no, I won't say there are no agencies in Jamaica that will do this for you, but I've never used any, because there are travel agencies, and persons do travel from Jamaica to Dubai, you know, for different reasons, okay, or occasions. But there is a travel agency in Dubai that I use, that my friends use, and they are very reliable. The only thing is, make sure you apply for this tourist visa early, okay? I wrote the price down. So for one visa, it's about 650 dirhams, and that is about 180 US dollars, okay? 650 AD, and it's about 180 US dollars. And this is just a rough estimate. You would have to contact the agencies to make sure, okay? Just to make sure. And let me add, this price that I just told you, that is for 1 month. So you can get a visa for 1 month and for 3 months, okay? And I would recommend that you get a visa for 3 months. Yes, it will be more expensive, but guess what? You don't know the time frame that when you arrive in the UAE, how long it will take for your papers to get ready, and then for you to in turn sponsor your family, okay? Sponsor your children and then enroll them in school. So you want to give yourself enough time. So I would recommend that you get a 3 months tourist or visitors visa when you are taking your family to the UAE. Okay? And another thing, guys, when you get this, it's going to just be a regular sheet of paper. When you get this, make sure you keep it safe, because you will need it to show at the airport as well, both in Jamaica, in the US. If you're traveling from Montego Bay to Germany, wherever you're going to go, keep that document safe and easy to reach. If in Georgia is saying, if in doubt, attest everything in Jamaica. This means that on arrival, if your school asks for a document, then you already have it attested. Thank you so much, Georgia, for pointing this out. Thank you so much. And that is true, because guess what, guys? I didn't know that I would need the parent permission letter. I didn't know that, right? It was a teacher who had brought her daughter here the year before told me. So I didn't know that. This is where the support comes in again. One hand wash the other. Good morning. One love, Shibane. Good morning, darling. Thank you for joining us. Is this Shibaby? Did I pronounce that correctly, Shibaby? Thank you for joining us, okay? And another thing we're going to talk about is enrolling your child or children in school and the documents needed. This is a tedious task, okay? But it is a must. Once your children are here in the UAE, it is your full responsibility to get them ready for school, just as though you would if you're in your home country, okay? I did not, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, my dear. Originally, I am from Jamaica, Clarendon to be exact, right over there in Palmer's Cross, near to Maypen. But right now, I am living in Abu Dhabi in the UAE. Okay? All right. So let's talk about school. As I said earlier, there are some schools that will provide your children, or provide you with full tuition. know if I should continue. I don't want anyone to miss, this point. Let me know, guys. How about it now? Are you seeing me? Are you hearing me? Okay, good. Thank you. All right. So the documents that you will need when you are enrolling your children in school, birth certificates. Okay, you're going to need that. You're going to need a copy of their passport. You're going to need a photo. You're also going to need a transcript from their previous school and the last report cards. You need those, okay? If you can get the last 2 or 3, fine. But make sure you have the report cards to back up the years of education that they have received already. So transcript and get these things attested. Man, I tell you, I did not know about transcript. Cause me not lie, I think I thought you only need transcript from college. I didn't know you need transcript from high school, third form. I didn't know that, honestly. So I didn't take that with me in the beginning. I didn't take that with me. But nonetheless, when I came and they needed this document, thank God my husband was back home, so he was able to jump around, move around quickly and get these documents for me and take it into Kingston to get it attested. First, stamped first at the Ministry of Education. Make sure the principal stamp their report there, please. Because he was in such a rush, he didn't check the report to make sure that the principal had signed it, So, and that's the only signature they are going to recognize at the Ministry of Education. So make sure that the principal sign and stamp it. And then you take it to the Ministry of Education, and then you take it to Foreign Affairs to get it attested. This is very important because the schools here, they need this, okay? They need it. Another thing is that another challenge that I faced with my older daughter moving from third form in Jamaica, coming here, that would have been grade 10, right? No, I had to prove to them here in the UAE that it's the same thing because they're not familiar with third form. Because since it was an American curriculum, they know grade 1, grade 2, grade 9, grade 10. So I had to prove to them that it is the same, okay? And that was really a challenge. It was really a challenge. I had to take off work one day to go into Abu Dhabi City, to go sit with the registrar, to talk about all of this, the admin's officer. It was a headache. Trust me, it was a headache. Because not only I missed a day, I missed a day pay too. Yeah, because I was still on probation. So it was really challenging, getting the documents ready. And for my youngest daughter, she left Jamaica when she was in grade 3. No, she started school early in Jamaica. Grade 1, she was like 5.5 when she started grade 1, right? When she came here, she was 8. And based on, Alison know this, all right, for you to start kindergarten, you have to be 4, and you have to be 4 years old before August 31st, I think. So because she had turned 8 after that date, she was too young to move on. So she was so upset that she had to repeat grade 3. She didn't like that. So that was a challenge as well for her. And for Venetia, and knowing that if you were in Jamaica, when she finished grade 11, she would have finished with high school in Jamaica. But here, she had one more year, that is grade 12. And she didn't like that either. She was so annoyed and upset that, Mom, all my friends, they graduate already and I have to be at school still. And if I was in Jamaica, I would graduate with my friends. I understand that, I understand that. But Here, grade 12 is like sixth form, right? Because she's doing her AP, sub APA. Is AP or APA? Vanessa will tell me. I always get that mixed up. But it's like pre-college. Grade 12 is like pre-college, right? So she she's at the end now, thank God for that. And she's about to start university this fall, this September. And I can't wait for that adventure to start. Okay. So before I keep rambling on about my children, remember you're going to need your birth certificate, report cards attested, school transcript attested, and passport copy and photo. That's for enrolling your child. Now, this one is the big one, guys. Sponsoring your family. Okay? Sponsoring your family. This is very important. Okay? Because this cost will be on your shoulders as the parent taking your family here. And if you are even your husband, whoever you're taking, you have to cover all of this. Okay, guys? So that moment you decide to take the job offer to move your family to the UAE, you have to think about money. Money. And it's a lot of money, guys. It's a whole lot of money. It's very expensive. Okay? So while I was here the first year alone, I started putting away a little money because we know say it's going to be a lot because I started to look at plane fare. I started to look about what it would cost for getting them ready for school and all of that. I started to calculate these costs. And let me add this for the school. If the school provides you with tuition, books, and admission, you are going to provide, you will have to pay for transportation. Yes, you have to pay for transportation, and you also have to cover uniforms. Okay? You have to cover uniforms as well. Alison, we know you can't talk about the money. We know you can't talk about the money. It was a lot for me, so we know I say a whole leap for you. Whole leap of money for your girl. But you know, we are here, and I know you are grateful, you're happy, I'm happy as well that we are here, but I have to let my subscribers know. Put down some money. You understand? Because you will need to think about the visa. Yes, you have the tourist visa, you have the visitor's visa, but that will only last for a month or 3 months. You will need that document along with passport copy, photo, along with the letter from the father, all these attested documents. You will need these when you are sponsoring your family, okay? And for me, I had to get my documents translated from English into Arabic and then get those attested as well. Yes, okay? You have to do that. You have to keep into consideration that the offices that you go to do these transactions, you will have to pay some money. I can't give you the figures right off the bat right now, but you will have to pay for attestation. You have to pay for translation of the documents as well. You have to go to where it's called a typing center to get these guys fill out the applications for you in Arabic and English as well. That's another money. You have to pay to open the file, okay? To start the process as well. You have to think about that. Very important, guys. You would have to consider getting life insurance for your, not life, health insurance rather, health insurance for your family. You will not get the visa without health insurance for your family. If it's even the basic package, you have to get it. And that is roughly around 250 US dollars. If it's even the basic package, you must get it for your family in order to complete the paperwork to sponsor them, okay? And you will also pay for Emirates ID. The children will, they don't need to do medical. I think if you have children over 16 years, they have to do fingerprint for their Emirates ID, but the younger ones, they don't have to do that. And once they're under 18, they do not need to do medical. If you're sponsoring your spouse, your husband or your wife, they will need to do a medical, and you have to pay for that as well. Okay? But there are websites here, Ministry of Labor, and you can do some quick Google search, how to sponsor my family to the UAE, and you will get this information as well. Okay, everyone? Remember to subscribe, remember to like my channel. If you think you're benefiting from the information, you're getting value, remember to subscribe and to share this as well. Okay? Another thing is that when you are sponsoring your family, this means that you will need time off. Okay? There are some business places that you definitely have to take maybe a day or half a day to get the process started. So if you are within your probation period, which you will be, because these documents need to be sorted out as quickly as possible, so that means you will be losing a day's pay, because you know, once you're on probation here in the UAE, you you will not, even if you provide them with a doctor's certificate or some valid reason why you're absent from work, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay? So take that into consideration. You'll need money. You'll need all the attested documents. You will need life insurance, and you will need to prepare the documents for the Emirates ID as well. And all of this, my viewers, will come down to getting the visa stamped in your passport, in your family's passport. Okay? Getting everything stamped in the passport. So now that you are here in the UAE, you sponsor the family already, everybody has their Emirates ID, which is, you know, something like this, Emirates ID, you're ready to go, all right? That means you are a resident here in the UAE, and your family, they're also resident. That means you can start, you can go anywhere. They can benefit from a lot of things here in the UAE. Trust me. Yes, it was a challenge in the beginning, taking my girls away from their comfort zone, away from their friends. They were sad, especially the older one. She was very sad, you know, when we moved here, because, you know, them third form, high school girls, she have her friends and all of that. But when she came here, she started making friends and get used to the place. And children are children, trust me. Once they enjoy somewhere, once they are happy, then you will be happy. Okay? You will be happy. So guys, feel free to share the live with, you know, anyone that you think will be interested in moving to the UAE. And not only teachers, this information, sponsoring your family, enrolling them in school, getting a tourist visa, it applies to everyone. There may be different steps from your country and things that you have to do, but when it comes to document attestation, right across the board, you have to first get the documents attested in your home country, and then you get them attested here in the UAE as well. So that is extra money, okay? Keep in mind, when you are applying for your visit visas, you're going to book your flight. If you're going to book your flights with Emirates, which is one of the, you know, national airlines here in the UAE, along with Etihad, these airlines, you can apply for the tourist visa from them as well, okay? And as I said earlier, the country that you are in, you can also apply for the tourist visa there. But because I was here in the UAE for 1 year, I had built this relationship with an an agency here, a travel agency here, and I've been using them for like 3 years now. Everybody that I know want to get a tourist visa, they would, reach out to me and I said, use this guy. They are reliable, but make sure you reach out to them early enough because keep in mind that the work week here in the UAE is from Sunday to Thursday. So, so Thursday at Jamaica, you still have 2 more days. You still have Thursday and Friday, not here in the UAE. Keep in mind that when you're doing all this paperwork from Jamaica, the holidays here in the UAE as well, because when it is, let me use this holiday, we are now in Ramadan, that's the holy month for Muslims, and Ramadan will end around Monday, Sunday, Monday, I'm not sure, but one thing I'm sure of is that we will get holiday from Tuesday. Yes. So we'll get 5 days, including Friday and Saturday. So that's 5 days. So if you're in Jamaica and you said, okay, it's Tuesday, it's just the start of the week, let me send out these documents to the agents in the UAE. Not during the holidays. They will not look at it until after the holidays. So you're basically losing 3 to 4 days. Okay, so keep that in mind as well when you are doing your paperwork. Think about the time difference here in the UAE in relations to your country, wherever you're watching from, wherever you will apply from. Think about the holidays, the public holidays in the UAE as well. Because trust me, Alice and myself, we face challenges with that. Yep. Even in December when my husband was coming, we got the visa the night before. Yep, the night before he left Jamaica. It's good and it is bad because now it is 6:27 p.m. here in the UAE, and I know it's about 9:30 a.m. in Jamaica and also in the US, right? Also in the US. So it will work out for you. Like now, when you think about the difference, you say, okay, so I still have a little more time. So even if they will give me late in the evening, I can send it early to him. Because another thing here in the UAE is that some offices will work late, especially during Ramadan. They will open like from 10 to maybe 5 or 4, then they close, then they will open again after iftar about 9 up to 11 p.m. or even 12 a.m. at night. Even the banks, okay, they will do that as well. Yes, Black Girl TT is telling me that she would be up late at night waiting to reply to emails. Girl, trust me, I couldn't sleep during that period. I was up, I was checking my phone all the time. I said, did they respond to my email? Did they, And when you want to make that call, it's not at your convenience. It is, based on their timing as well. So remember, guys, check out Black Girl TT's YouTube channel as well as Georgia's Lifestyle. These are my friends. We're like family here. We help each other, we support each other, we meet up. We may not have an official community, but trust me, as Jamaicans, once you need help, we are here. So I don't want teachers to think that, oh, I'm coming to the UAE and I don't know anyone. You will know somebody. We are everywhere. And the expat population here is about 88%, I think. And 12% are locals, are Emiratis. That means foreigners like trouble like sun. You will always find someone from your country, okay? Always find someone from your country. I think I've covered everything, guys. I think I've mentioned all the important points, such as the type of accommodation, the documents that you will need to be for attestation, applying for the tourist visa, sponsoring your family, and all of that. And let me say this again, guys. Everything is not going to be perfect, meaning that when you're applying for a job, You might not see the salary that you need, or you might not see all the benefits that you need, such as family accommodations or tuition. But guess what? If this is what you need, if you want to become an international teacher, you know, in Jamaica, we say the first water oxen wash. I don't know any other analogy that I can use instead of that one, but just grab the first opportunity that you see. Okay? But I know for some persons they don't have anyone to stay with their children if they leave. So from the get-go, you have to make sure that the benefits are there for you as well. Okay, guys? So keep that in mind. Thank you so much for your support. I really do appreciate it. And guess what? Today I hit my 500 subscribers mark. So help me build this channel. Thank you so much for your support. Click the like, share the live with anyone and everyone, any country you're coming from. This information will be of benefit for you. So this is it for me. And if you do not have any more questions for me, guys, I see you next time and another digital moment with Terina. Bye, guys. Thank you so much, Alison. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Sydney. Thank you. Sydney, you don't get want Sydney and come check us over this side. Mm? Thank you, Black Girl TT. Thank you, Georgia. Thank you so much for your support, guys. See you next time.